Greetings, world. Natata Nakala over here, freshman in the real estate game, standing next to a genius, the one and only. I'm gonna let you say his name in a minute. But welcome. This is about diversifying your income, good people. This is about learning different skill sets. This is about transferable skills. Most importantly, generating wealth, generational wealth, that is. So, very excited. We're going to be showing you this beautiful spot right behind us. But first, I'm going to let my man Will go ahead and introduce himself.
Great day, ladies and gents. My name is Wilsony Georges, the one and only WILSONY You can find me on YouTube, Wilsony Georges. You can also find me on Instagram, Wilsony Georges, the one and only. So today I am here to share knowledge with you guys on real estate investing. If you are the type of individual that like to make extra money, give us a follow, give us a tap. If you are the type of individual that like to create passive income for you and your family, right? Give us a little tap, subscribe. If you are the type of individual that likes passive income through real estate investing, you're really going to want to tune into this. So today we're going to show you one of my investments that I am just finishing up that is getting ready to hit the market in a couple of days here. Follow us.
Come on, let's go. Chilly day out there in New Hampshire today. Thank you for the light, my brother. Here we are, Will. I want to jump right into it. This is a beautiful kitchen, right? Very nice, very bright. But I gotta say, it didn't look like this one came here a few months ago. So what I would like to do is really tell the people, how did you maximize this so this looks like such a big kitchen?
All right. So some of the things we did in this kitchen when we acquired this house, right, which when we bought it, it was not such a nice kitchen. It was not beautiful at all. And he can attest to that, right?
Trust me, it was not like this.
So what I did was, when I was coming up with the design concept with my team, we tried to pick colors that were a lot lighter so that it would make the room and the area feel a lot more bigger. You know what I mean? So if you look at the color tone that we got going on with the flooring, with the granite, with the cabinets, you know, with these beautiful subway tiles, I mean, the backsplash, you know what I mean? It really makes the room feel a lot bigger. And if you look over there, right, that's our dining room. And although it's rather small, it feels a lot bigger.
No, I would actually argue that it's not. It doesn't even feel small, really. It don't appear small. So from the granite all the way coming up to this space, you can see the light. So that's what I want to emphasize. You talked about thinking about how you pick the lighting, right? Working with your team. Now, you also have these dark splashes, right? The handles over here. Is that part of kind of giving it a different ambiance within the kitchen?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Because as far as the fixtures, we went with oil rub bronze for the finish. And I think it really gave it that pop, you know what I mean, that we're looking for. So it just blended really nice. And you have all the lighting from the windows, you know, coming in and hitting. So all those things makes this area feel a lot more bigger than it really is.
Now, I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes we think that, okay, sounds good, beautiful kitchen. I'm sure there were some challenges. Give us just one of the biggest challenges that you faced while you were working through this, whether it be the flooring, the granite. What was just one challenge that you think our listeners would benefit from hearing about?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest challenges that we had in this kitchen was actually the flooring. For the tiles, a lot of the flooring, especially in the dining room area, was not level. So trying to level it out the best that we can before the tile guys were able to lay down their tile was one of the biggest challenges that I think that we found that we had in this kitchen.
Absolutely. No, it sounds great. The kitchen looks beautiful. We're just getting started. We got a couple more rooms to go to. But the beautiful thing I love is somebody's doing some dishes over here looking at this beautiful view. So your team has really done a great job with this kitchen. Well, I would now eat in this kitchen. Before, I wouldn't have done so much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move on to the next room and see exactly how this beautiful house has came about. We are in the living room. TV gets watched in here. Family meetings happen in here. But I'm going to tell you one thing. A lot of things look different. I'm talking about from the can lighting to even what was on the floor. So I really want you, Will, to kind of invite us to what this looked like before it now is such a spacious living room area.
Absolutely. It will be my pleasure. So, for starters, right, in this room right here, when we first bought the house, the electrical was not updated, and there was just one dorm light in the middle here, which was fairly ugly and very outdated. So what we went ahead and did was we updated the electrical by adding the electrical lights, the cans, the ceiling cans.
Those are popular. Those are popular right now.
Very popular, very modern. As far as the flooring in here, if you notice these beautiful hardwood that we now have, right? There was actually carpet here before.
Was the hardwood underneath the carpet?
This portion of the hardwood was underneath the carpet.
Okay.
And the reason why we decided to pull the carpet, right, is because the carpet gave it more of a cheap feel. You know what I mean? And we wanted to give it more of a high-end feel because we're trying to maximize the value that we're adding to the property, right? So we pulled the carpet, we refurbished these wood floors, and we had to add some new ones on this end over here, but we were able to, when we refurbished it, to make it all look the same.
No, Will, I want to point something out. Speaking of, I remember last time I came here and I had to walk through this space. Was there a wall over here before?
Absolutely, that is correct.
Okay, okay.
There was a wall. And so what we did here is, you know, there was a wall that went all the way over here and there was a doorway. This room wasn't really doing anything, right? And it just made this area feel real confined. And as a living room area, you know, anyone with a big family will tell you that, you know, you're gonna feel really, you know, confined in the room. So our goal was, you know, how could we maximize the space here and make it feel a lot more bigger, a lot more warm, and a lot more welcoming. And so one of the ideas that one of my team members came up with was, let's knock this wall off, do away with the wall, expand the living room area so it's a lot more bigger. And I gotta tell you, when you walk in here and you come up those stairs and you look over this way, it's just a wow factor.
It invites.
You know what I mean? Especially with the wood floors.
I mean, here's what I'm thinking, right? You got a bookcase over there, looks beautiful. You got the kids playing over here. For those who have a big family, like you just said, this could be the kids' play area. So mom and dad are sitting over here. It's potential. There's a lot of potential. So it sounds like you do focus on thinking about what could the family have as a benefit to the house. Is that something that through every project you think about, right? Are you thinking about the potential buyers? How do you avoid not decorating it to your liking, how Will would like it?
Well, the goal is, you know, every house that I finish when I do a flip is I want to get that warm feeling when we're done the project, that I can walk through the house and I ask myself, you know, could I live here with my family? You know, would I be happy? Would I be comfortable? And, you know, I think that really helps as far as, you know, decision making, you know, with certain decisions that's going to maximize the potential of the house.
Yeah, like knocking down the wall. That, I gotta tell you, open the space up. And besides the can lights, you got a non-natural light coming in as well. So it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Love it. All right, we are moving right along. This is a beautiful space. There's more house to see, believe it or not. So stick around, let's go. Boy, I thought we were headed back to the game room. Well, looks like we are now in master. Is that what I would say?
This is getting sold as the master suite. It used to be a game room, no more game room. We went ahead and turned it to a master suite instead.
And you know what? Good people, I just learned something new actually. In the industry, they are starting to move away from calling them master bedrooms. This is to be more inclusive, and they're actually calling them primary rooms now. So we're gonna go ahead and be up with the modern times. We're gonna call it a primary room. Primary room that has changed tremendously, Will. So walk us through how you turned a game room into now a primary room.
Well, for starters, right, if you're going to have a master, any significant other, I was going to say housewife, but I know nowadays that's not always the case.
Yes, yes, you're absolutely right.
Housewife,
Modern
house
times.
man.
Yes, stay-at-home dads. Shout out to the stay-at-home dads, by the way.
But
And
any
moms.
significant other can really appreciate this right here. Let me show you real quick.
Check this out.
So this wasn't here before, right? And now, voila.
Walk-in
There you have it. Beautiful walk-in closet. Ceilings are super high. You got plenty of space for shelving.
You even got good flooring on
Great
in
flooring.
the closet. In the closet.
Great flooring.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, bathroom. in the master?
Yes. So another thing that we did in here to maximize the master is we added that right there, which is a beautiful bathroom with a shower, full bath. You can go in, check it out.
Kept the light theme going, very light. I see,
Absolutely.
just like we did in the kitchen.
Absolutely. So yeah, very light theme. And again, I think the light theme here just made it feel a lot bigger. You know, especially working with a lot of the pre-existing things. There is one more thing that we did here that I didn't mention earlier, was we added a beautiful deck. You know, the deck that was here before was
Probably not safe, to say the least.
I wouldn't have went on it.
No.
And now, you come out here, it's got this beautiful deck, man. This deck right here oversees 2 acres of land.
Goodness gracious, you
Look
gotta
at
love
it.
New
It's
Hampshire.
a beautiful scenery. I know it's winter right now, but picture during the summertime, kids are outside, everybody's barbecuing, maybe you got a pool back here.
You could
can
absolutely have a
really
pool.
entertain.
You could absolutely. This is an entertainer's yard. You're absolutely right. I could see somebody even doing a wedding out here, quite honestly.
Absolutely,
Potential
absolutely.
is limitless. So we are outside, new deck. Now, Will, I always like to give tips. Let's talk about that's a scary thing, doing a deck.
Absolutely.
Any tip that you could give folks that they even, because now we start thinking about when you have possibly the inspector coming in, what's one thing that you really want to keep in mind or that you might have learned through this project as you did this deck?
Well, everything comes down to budget, and the deck that was here before had a wraparound, staircase that went down and then went across. And as far as our budget, having to redo the deck wasn't really in there, from the beginning.
Gotcha.
So when we redid the deck, instead of redoing the staircase, we decided to save a little bit of money and just do it without a staircase.
And it still gives you can still get outside. There's plenty of other ways to get out there.
Absolutely. And there's potential, because if whoever buys the home would like to add a staircase, they can go ahead and add a staircase.
So really, it sounds like there's sometimes where you want to maybe spend a little bit extra, but then you have to really be thoughtful about, is this worth me putting a staircase there, or do I just build something concrete, safe, pass inspection, and then there's a potential that somebody could add the staircase?
Absolutely, absolutely. For real estate investors, it always comes down to the penny. It always comes down to the budget, and you don't want to go over budget and then not be able to get a nice ROI return on your investment on the deal.
Love it.
Follow us.
Let's go. All right, just like Brahman from Martin, came from the 5th floor, joking, all the way to the basement. Here we are, Will. There's a lot of things that you did in here. Let me tell you, this was not finished at all. When we came here, I don't even think my son wanted to come down. It was a little bit scary. Yeah. Now, you've turned it into an actual basement. What did you add in here? Because I see a couple of different things over here as well.
Well, I think the question is, what didn't I add?
That's a bad question. I like that. I like that.
This was a dungeon. It was scary. There was nothing finished down here. The walls were open. But when I came in, I truly saw a vision of finishing the square footage down here. One, to make it more comforting, but 2, I added a substantial amount of value at this house right here by finishing the entire basement. I think it was an additional 1,200 square feet that we got to add to the tax card. So we did the framing, we upgraded the electrical, added all the outlets, we added, the electrical lighting.
It's warm. It's warm in here now. It's got some
warm. Yeah, we added the ventilation systems. Ran additional ductwork. We did the flooring down here, and
what's that I see over there?
What you see over here is the washer dryer connections, right? Washer dryer box. So the washer dryer box was in a very scary area inside the mechanical room. It was worse than out here. I couldn't see anyone really doing any laundry or
washing in the mechanical room.
Absolutely. So what I did was we changed the location of it to this right here, and you have a beautiful view. You know what I mean? While you're doing your laundry, wash, dry, folding, you have a beautiful view of the yard. If the kids are here, you can see the kids downstairs. In this area right here, you now can have a game room, right? Or a playroom. You can have whatever you like. Maybe you have a teenage kids, And this could be another little mini living room for them.
Virtual learning. There's a lot of that right now as well.
Virtual learning room.
Could be a little classroom.
Absolutely. And another thing that I did down here in the basement was I added a bedroom. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you had square footage, but then you really added a room. Now, Will, again, always educating, for something to be considered a room, does it need to have a closet or not? I think there's a myth out there sometimes.
Absolutely. So if you're adding another bedroom, you definitely need a closet. You definitely need an egress. You know, so different states have different codes as far as what another egress is, as far as an area that someone can get out of the room if they had to get out of the room. You know, so some states might require a 5x5 window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everywhere's a little different, but you have the door to go in, you have an egress to go out, you have a closet, now you got an extra bed.
Square footage, bedroom, it keeps on growing and growing. There's a lot of space to see in here, and I feel like we got a lot of surprises in store.
Absolutely. Follow us.
Let me tell you, I feel like I've been working out. It's a lot of house that we've been walking around, Will. But I have to say this, man. First of all, I'm very impressed. House looks beautiful. One thing that we talked about in past segments as well is the need for home offices. And I'm just wondering now, is this what we could possibly be standing in?
You are correct.
Okay, okay.
You know, so if you saw the video before this, when this house was under construction, you know, the vision for this room was to have it as a beautiful home office. You know, right now a lot of people are working from home, you know, due to certain circumstances. And this space before was just dead space.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's no longer dead space. We have a beautiful home office. It's actually very big, and you know, there's a lot of lighting. You can still see the yard from here. The driveway is right over there, so you can literally have your guests pull in the driveway. They can come in through this door right here. They don't even have to go through your house. You can have a meeting, and they can leave. I think it's perfect.
Just to get your privacy. So ultimately, give us just at least one thing that you believe might have been difficult, or maybe even made you nervous about really tackling this spot. Because this is it's a nice office. But I can imagine as you're standing now, we're talking budget. This is a lot of house. What's one thing that you were like, should I, shouldn't I? And then you eventually did it, and you were reaping the benefits all the way to the light. I love those.
Well, for starters, there was like a slab poured here, right? So at some point back in the day, I don't know if this was an extra garage, you know, but with the slab being poured, the cement kind of came up very high. So as you can see, you know, I had to have one of my guys custom this trim board right here.
It goes all the way around.
It goes all the way around. It was real difficult to do because of how the cement came up. So I think that was one of our challenges, is to, you know, we're trying to figure out what can we do to make it look nice and, you know, without going too crazy with the budget. And that's what we came up with.
Well, I gotta say, I'm very, very much impressed. It's a nice office. I will certainly be able to enjoy the space. And what I noticed, every room you have access to seeing the kids playing outside, the windows, so a lot of new windows as well in the space. The heating is very well done also.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so to recap some of the things that I did in this house to add value, first and foremost, right, I added a lot of square footage to this house, you know what I mean? So by adding the square footage, it brought me up to the next tier as far as the comparables on the market. You know, so therefore, I'm able to sell this house for a lot more money.
That's huge. Comparable. So sometimes people hear people saying, what is a comp at? Those are comparables, comparable to the market, houses that are around the area. So you might have went from houses that only had a certain square footage. You just mentioned that you had about 1,200 square footage.
Yes, sir.
With an extra room.
Yep.
Can't beat that. Can't beat it with a back. I love it. And then also you added a deck that you fixed up ultimately, took away the stairs. And you got the laundry room going on, the kitchen, which is where we started off. Simply amazing.
Absolutely.
So a lot of value added here. What we're hoping is you're learning is take your time, think about the lighting and how it's going to come across, and then also what your budget.
Absolutely. And don't forget the bathroom. Whenever you have a chance to add an extra bathroom in a house, always add an extra bathroom in a house.
Love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think that wraps it up for today. I hope you guys found value in this video. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Again, my name is Wilsony Georges, WILSONY, GEORGES, the one and only. Find me on Instagram, like my page, follow. We will be dropping a lot more content. And
Natate Nakala, NTATE, very simple. Catch me on Instagram, NTATE 1996, and no, that is not the year I was born. No older than that. But no, like we'll say, this has been a great segment. We've got plenty more in stock, so hopefully you found something useful here. Put questions in, we'll make sure that we address those. And we'll take another time where we really get a chance to dive deeper into the budgeting, the strategy, all these different things. A lot of knowledge to soak in. So please share this video with a friend. And we are so excited that you're able to join us today. We're going to go ahead and sign out from New Hampshire.